Let go of the illusion. You are part of a vast, uncontrollable ecosystem. For generations, people have been taught to fear the unknown, to seek comfort in external forces, and to believe that without a singular God or divine plan, existence would be meaningless and chaos. But this fear is not natural, it is a construct, a tool of control that was forced upon us. Our ancestors did not see the world through the lens of one God, one truth, or one singular power dictating our reality. The idea came with colonization, with the erasure of indigenous knowledge, with the violent suppression of cultures that once understood the universe as an interconnected, ever-changing ecosystem. Before the influence of monotheistic religions and colonial rule, many cultures saw the world as a vast interplay of forces, spirits, and energy, each holding power in their own right. There was no need for a single entity governing all because existence itself was seen as self-sustaining. Nature did not need permission to grow. Storms did not require divine justification. And balance was something that emerged, not something imposed. But colonization sought to strip people of this understanding, replacing it with doctrines that centralize power, both spiritual and political. The idea of one God, one ruler, one divine plan mirrored the structure of empire. It told people that their lives were not their own and that they existed at the mercy of a higher authority, and that questioning this authority was heresy. This was not enlightenment, it was subjugation. Religion as a tool of control, the myth of the divine plan. Many assume that gods, deities, or higher intelligence are necessary to create balance, as if the universe would collapse into meaningless chaos without them. But what people fail to see is that balance is an inherent process, not an assigned task. The planets align, the galaxies expand and contract, elements merge to create new life, all without a single will orchestrating it. The concept of a divine plan was never meant to enlighten, it was meant to pacify. If people believe that everything happens for a reason, that all suffering is part of a greater purpose, they are less likely to resist oppression. They are less likely to reclaim their power. They are less likely to recognize that the only thing guiding reality is the interaction of countless energies, not the will of a god. Our ancestors understood that chaos and order are not opposites. They are dance partners. They exist together, constantly shaping one another. Everything happens in a way that brings balance and harmony to the entire cosmos, not just Earth. There is no divine plan, no cosmic script written by a singular force. There is only the unfolding of reality, shaped by forces beyond human understanding. Spirits, ghosts, and the fear of disappearing. One of the biggest fears humans hold is the question, what happens when I die? This fear is so powerful that it keeps people clinging to the idea of a singular afterlife, reincarnation, or returning to a source. But just because something is unknown does not mean it must be explained through singularity. Many people communicate with, and assist spirits, which they take as proof that the soul continues on in an internal form. But if we look deeper, what do spirits truly tell us? They remain only when there is unfinished business, attachments, or lingering energy. They are not proof of an afterlife where all beings exist eternally. They are proof that energy can become temporarily stuck when tethered to something unresolved. And what happens when a spirit finishes its business? It disappears. It dissolves into the unknown. Many fear this disappearing as assuming it means non-existence. But energy does not simply cease to beat. It transforms, it moves, it continues in ways that we cannot yet understand. Our ancestors understood this cycle intimately. They did not see death as an end, nor did they cling to rigid ideas of afterlife or divine judgment. Instead, they honored the transition of energy, recognizing that what we are now is only one form of existence, and when this form ends, our energy continues. But colonization sought to erase this understanding, replacing it with heaven, hell, salvation, damnation, tools of fear designed to keep people from questioning. People want to believe in a singular afterlife, a final destination, because the thought of truly letting go terrifies them. The fear of, I don't know what happens when I disappear, is what keeps people clinging to the idea of a universal self, a divine plan, or a singular creator. But what if we embraced that fear instead of trying to erase it? What if we accepted that existence is not about returning to something, it is about continuing, changing, and becoming something new? We are not one. We are a cosmic ecosystem of infinite energies. Everything in existence interacts, but that does not mean it is all one thing. Just as the ocean is not the same as the sky, just as the stars are not the same as the earth, just as you are not the same as me, existence is a complex, interwoven system of energies distinct yet connected. Colonization forced us to see the world in binaries: one God, one truth, one chaos, one consciousness, or nothingness. But our ancestors saw beyond this. They understood that existence is neither singular nor divided. It is an endless interplay of forces, energy, and beings, each moving in their own way. We do not need one God, one purpose, one consciousness to justify our existence. We exist because the universe itself is an ever-evolving, boundless interaction of forces. There is no singular creator, no ultimate plan, and no final destination. Only the constant transformation of energy shifting beyond what we can perceive. To truly awaken is to let go of the need for one answer, one God, one source. To awaken is to reclaim the wisdom stolen from our ancestors, to recognize that we were never meant to live under a single authority, and to embrace the vast, chaotic, uncontrollable beauty of existence. You are not a fragment of one great whole. You are your own force, moving, shifting, and endlessly becoming.